Hello everybody, my name is Zen, and welcome to my impressions of Tavern Keeper, which is a, well, it's in the name, right? You're managing and keeping your own tavern in a fantasy world. These are my impressions, not my first impressions. Unfortunately, I did a full first impressions video, and my hard drive was in the middle of dying, apparently. Lost all that footage. So we're actually going to jump in with just a normal impressions video. But despite the mess up on that first impressions, I feel like jumping into the tutorial is the best way to actually show the game. So we're going to hit new on this. We're not going to skip the tutorial. I'm just going to throw us in. There is a bunch of options here for customizing your experience. I think it's actually really, really good. You can quickly hit balanced or challenging or relaxed, and you'll just get generally a more customizable experience. I think that that's really cool for a sim game. There's a lot going on with this, and I feel like it's actually one of the best sim games I've played in years. It's freaking fantastic, and it's only in early access, so it's just going to get better. Look at our awesome swamp.
Welcome to Riverbottom. I hope you like mud. And oh, here's your first tavern. Bit of a fixer-upper, it seems. There's much to do before opening the doors. But where to start? First things first, teaching you how to teach yourself. A checklist on the right side of your screen would certainly be handy. Hovering your cursor over things like checklists can bring up helpful tooltips. Why don't you try it?
All right, we'll take a look at that in just a second. I do want to mention that this game is made by Greenheart Games. Their last game that they produced was Game Dev Tycoon back in 2013, a game that I covered when it came out and streamed a bunch of it. Really enjoyed that game, but it's now 2025. So they've been working on this for some time already, not to mention any other gap that was in there. But I think it definitely shows that they've taken their time with this. All right, so tooltips, hover here to continue. Many user interface elements have tooltips like this one. Tooltips contain important information. They're always worth a look. Now we're going to learn about nested tooltips. Some tooltips, like this one, contain links to other tooltips or buttons. Before you can interact with elements within a tooltip, you have to wait for the tooltip to lock in. This happens automatically after a few seconds. To continue the tutorial, hover over this nested tooltip link. It says if the tooltip disappears when you try to mouse over it, you have to wait a few seconds to lock in. All right, nested tooltips. As you can see, tooltips can connect to other tooltips. It could be tooltips all the way down, or is it up? Just tooltips nested in, 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 tooltips. You get the point. Tooltips, see? You see what I mean? The whole game floats on a roiling sea of bottomless tooltips. You think you could dive deeper and deeper, and just as you think you see the bottom, it's actually just another tooltip. And inside of that tooltip is a link to yet another tooltip. And it contains a link to, you get the point. It's very funny.
Phenomenal work. You mastered tooltips. And thus the secret to mastering the whole game. Now, why not use the camera controls to take a look around?
All right, so we got WASD, we got rotations, and we got zooming in. Pretty standard stuff.
Splendid observing. One could say that makes you quite the looker. If this was a story about a garbage dump, you'd be set. But that rubble may deter tavern patrons. Clean it up, won't you?
All right, so we're going to select the demolish tool. We're going to get rid of the ruined tap. We're going to get rid of the ruined wood and the ruined
Excellent.
rooms.
That dangerous unfinished floor underneath has a certain rustic charm, but we can do better. Build a tap room.
Yeah, we need a tap room. So we're going to go click on this. We're going to hit tap room. And it's a simple drag and drop for this one. I will just use this whole space. I think that that's totally fine.
Every room needs a door, otherwise it's a coffin. Grim.
I don't think I caught that the first time I played. The voice acting, obviously phenomenal, and it continues throughout the game, so get used to how good it is. I'm going to put door right there.
Onwards. The tap room is ready, but you're missing a tap. Select it in the build menu, but don't place it yet.
Yes.
Is that the angle you want? Try rotating it a bit before placing it. Nice to see things from all angles, isn't it? Now, place that tap wherever you like.
I'm going to pop it right there.
People like a place to lean while they order. A bar counter is optimal. Let's build one.
So the tap is where you'll put the
Good.
drinks of whatever you get.
Tavern keeping isn't all gossip and picking furniture. There's hard work to be done as well. Let's just hire someone to do that part for you.
Yeah, so you basically, the bar counter, you saw like it had a little person icon here. So basically that's where people could line up to order. Your staff sit on the other side. That was the other, like the apron icon. And having the bar allows them to actually order. You could put more counter space, which would allow more orders at a time. But there is a balance there of how many staff you have to actually take orders versus how many people are there to order. So I recommend just 1-on-1 for now. All right, so we have a bunch of different staff. These randomized, they're great. We currently have 5 different ones to choose from for our place. And what we're looking for is their skills here. So we've got server, chef, janitor, and dog's body. Dog's body are like your maintenance or your stock as well. A janitor, obviously going to clean. You know what a chef is. You know what a server is. So we kind of want, because we're looking for someone to do a lot of serving here, we're looking for a good server. If they have this icon, that means they dislike the role. They're going to get more angry about being that thing if they're having to do it. So actually this Higdon is not a bad start. Unfortunately, she's costing, or he is costing me 34 gold to hire them initially, and then they're 15 a day, which is actually quite a lot. You see, this person's 6, this one's 13, that one's 6, but this person is a terrible server, and we don't want that. There are different effects here, so they like this one is getting a better boost to satisfaction on our patrons, which means that they're going to be happier and leave us a better rating, which is something we're going to want. Unfortunately, Higdon is a stress eater. So his reaction to critical unhappiness, is when they're super unhappy, is to eat a bunch of stuff. Don't think that will happen during this little tutorial. Think about whoever is, so he thinks about whoever is nearby, makes them weep. Their last boss fired them for fighting a wizard, and they collect undergarments. Weird. You're hired.
Really? Based on those qualifications? Are they a friend of yours? Never mind, it's time to buy drinks. The traveling merchant will be here soon. Click on him when he arrives. You can hurry him along with the game's speed controls if you like.
So the way this works is you have a timeline up here. So 6 hours, 12 hours, 1 day, and 3 plus. Or yeah, 3 days plus. So this traveling merchant is arriving in 1.9 days. Or this one is in 5.7 hours. Although this one seems to be here already. So what do we want to buy? We want a variety of drinks, but we don't want too much, though we don't want too little, because this merchant is coming in a few days, right? So we want to be able to last that long. Depending on how many patrons we have coming in, that may be very, very quickly that we actually go through our stuff. Or if we're not getting a lot of patrons coming through, then maybe we only need 1 or 2 different drinks. Honestly, having a variety is always better. But you could stock up on 1 and just be like, yes, I'm gonna get 4 of these. The stars do matter. The stars actually increase the satisfaction of the people that are buying it. It's the easiest way to put it. We're gonna grab one of this expensive ones, or one of this like nice one, the Apfel Schlam. And then we'll grab 2 of these. So I'm gonna have 2 of those in stock. So that way we have a backup, and then we're just going to have this one. So I'm going to spend 30 gold to get it. There's other stuff here that we can't buy yet.
Excited to tap that barrel? Select the tap you installed to assign your new beverage to it.
Yeah, so we're going to click here, we're going to select drink, and we're going to get the fancy one in there. I'm going to let them put it on tap, and while they do that, I'm actually, because I have some extra gold, I'm going to buy another tap here. And then I'm going to go ahead and equip this one with the other So now we're basically getting both in there. So he's going to go pick it up and bring it over here. Unfortunately, all of our stuff is being left out on this pier, and it will spoil. So this turns to dust in 9.9 days. Some of them have faster spoil rates, like this one is 8.9 days. And if you have a storeroom, it does definitely increase the time that it takes to spoil. It'll teach us about a storeroom in a second. Let's go ahead and speed up time while it gets over there so it moves on to the next piece.
Bars are great for a quick drink, but tables allow patrons to settle in and stay a while. Try building one.
Okay, place a small table. So we're going to go over to the thing here. Where is it at? Table. We need a small table. It's going to give it to us for free, which is great. Do I really want it like over here? Probably not. I'm actually just going to put it in the corner. Actually, I don't want it too far away because our server has to walk all the way over to it, right? I'm actually just going to put it over here. I don't really want it blocking things. I think it'll be fine there. That'll be good.
It's a bit plain. Why don't I show you the design mode? Decorating your tavern truly makes it your own. Even a humble table becomes an empty canvas ready to transform. You might decorate it with something simple, perhaps place a centerpiece. But why stop there? You can change and tweak every element according to your mood. Ooh, feeling romantic? And you needn't stop at simply decorating. You can design anything you can imagine, piece by piece. Go wild! For now, let's try something simple. Select a piece from the design mode and combine it with the table. You'll have hundreds of options as a tavern keeper, but let's start with 3.
This is actually one of my favorite parts of the game, is the customizing of different bits. The thing I like to do, just because we're a fantasy tavern, we want to put an axe in the middle of the table. So things that we could do, we can hold left click and then rotate it this way. We can also go up and down with the mouse to increase or decrease the size. I feel like it's kind of ridiculous looking big. We'll put it at an angle like this way, right there. We'll scale it down just a tiny bit and put it right in the middle of the table.
An interesting choice. Well, there's no accounting for taste. That's enough decorating for now.
There's also custom items, by the way.
Quite a bit. Perhaps you should save your progress.
Oh, I love quick saving. Do it. F5.
Did it save properly? I can't see. Hold on. I'll scoop my candle a little closer to the storybook. Oh! I caught the page on fire. The story is burning. Quick, load your save file.
Yeah. Okay, so we would have to load the game with hitting F9, but F9 is my record button, so we're gonna load just a actual, quick save there. Yeah, there are custom items, by the way, that people can upload to the workshop and everything, and I think that is super cool. So that's gonna definitely increase the value of the game over time.
Look, everything is fine again. No need to reload for every little fire. I was just having a bit of fun. Narrator humor, you see. One last thing, the stories. A glowing golden book means someone or something has a tale to tell. See? There's one. Click on your tab, won't you?
Yeah, this is the crux of the game, by the way. It has a narrative that goes along with it. And it's like a choose your own adventure.
What sort of narrator would I be without a storybook? This is mine. It's a bit magic, you see. The stories inside are your stories, and they follow your choices. There will be quite a lot of stories to tell, all centered in your tavern. You'll find them as little books hovering above characters, items, or locations. Would you like to see how they work?
Yeah, see if sure, thank you, or no thanks, I'll figure it out as I go.
As you can see, your choices progress the story. Simple. Skill choices, however, are a little more complex. The results are determined by your character skills, the difficulty, and a bit of luck. The story continues whether you succeed or fail, and failing is just as fun, sometimes more so. Still, I know even a fun failure can feel like a failure. Don't worry, you can retry spins if you don't like the result. But do be sparing with those respins. If too many build up, we may run into trouble.
So yeah, this is what it's talking about. We have different options here. So this is like a wits. This uses our wits. This one uses our smarts, and this one uses our charm. And obviously our wits are a bit better here. And this is an easier option. So I'll show you how it works with a smarts choice. So this one says, what kind of trouble? Maybe we can figure it out together. If I can retry any results, isn't the spin meaningless? Or we're friends, you wouldn't let anything bad happen to me. We're going to go with smarts.
Well, the spins represent causality, and resisting will... Ah, hang on! Using logic to convince me to drop the spins?
Yeah, so it gives you an amount of runes, green and red, and you hit the button to select one. We had basically a 50% chance there. We're going to retry it, right? So click to retry. Each retry will increase the chance of chaos event after the story concludes. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna go again. Yeah. Got it.
Yes, okay, you got me. There is more to it. Let me explain. Nothing truly bad will happen to you if you fail a spin. More or less. It depends on your definition of bad. Anyway, don't worry about it. But respins resist the natural course of events, and tinkering with cause and effect can cause things to go a little pear-shaped. No need to go into it now. You'll have to wait and see. That's choosing chaos for you. Feel free to explore stories and go with your gut. There are no wrong or right answers. There's only the path you choose. I can't wait.
Close book. Oh, okay, good. Nothing bad happened. So yeah,
That's
it's really
the end
cool.
of my little tutorial. But don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Where would a story be without a narrator? Now, open those doors. You have a tavern to run.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and open the tavern. People will start coming in. So this is our deed. This is a very funny little document if you want to read it. I did it in the first impressions. I'm not going to do it here. We're going to call this the... Oh, goodness. What's a good one for a swamp? The soggy bottom. There we go. I love it. All right. We've opened our doors. We have a cask out here.
Now wait for a patron and your staffer will tend to them. It's smooth sailing from here, relatively.
Yeah, I actually want a storeroom, so I'm going to get this going. So we're going to grab a storeroom here. I'm going to make it fairly large. I don't need to make it this large, but I think it's easier to put stuff in there if it is a bit larger. So we'll go 6 by 12. 5 by 12? I got to consider this. Let's go 6 by 12. I know that's going to bother some people on that corner. That was the consideration, by the way. Not that I'm trying to do that. We will put a door here. I will also, by the way, put a door over here. Gonna need that in a moment. And then we'll use our pallet. So we'll put a pallet down. This will allow things to be stocked there. I don't need to buy anything else. I only have 236 gold left. And if you look at... Where is it? Oh, it's not going to show us right away, is it? All right, let's go ahead and get this rolling. There it is. So in 12 hours, we have to pay 15 gold. That is the wage of our little duders here. So we got somebody coming in. Because they're set to do all of their work at the moment, they're going to take an order. Then he's going to walk on over, get a drink, and sell it to this guy. Which is kind of cool. And depending on how he did and the drink that he got, it'll give us a satisfaction rating, which will then increase this up here. We have a couple other people coming in. This nerd over here is going to go stock this because, again, they're set to do everything at the moment. 72%, that's pretty good. I'll take that. Now, we have had a person come in and a person sit at the table here. I'm actually going to go ahead and pause. So the person at the table, my character actually has to go over to them to take the order, go get it, and then go back. So people sitting at tables does take a bit longer, it seems, per patron, as opposed to the people standing at the counter. But they, you know, they're kind of hanging out. It's cool because it gives you that vibe of a tavern. Now you'll see these footprints here. They came in from outdoors or outside, and they left a bunch of dirt here. There is something you can do to try and prevent that. Where is it? If I go to tap room, is it here? It is. So you can get a floor mat. The floor mat will help prevent them from bringing dirt in, which is kind of nice. Same thing goes for your own nerds, right? They're gonna be coming inside and outside as well, so they'll bring dirt in. You don't want that. Now, we'll go ahead and let this go. So we have to increase our thing by 1 star, essentially. In order to do that, for the drinks to increase, I need to serve 5 patrons. I've got 3 here, plus the one I did. I'm going to have that in just a second. And then for services, I need a toilet or an outhouse and a bulletin board, which we can go ahead and get the bulletin board now, right? We can put that on our area here. There we go. Looking a little barren in here otherwise. So yeah, now you can see he's going to go ahead and take their order. I think it's time to go ahead and advertise for some new people. That'll give us the 2 extra at the end. So we have Laurel and Tanya. Honestly, Tanya is pretty good. So their least impressive quality is their many enemies. Loves wiggling fingers. Their last boss praises them for shirking a responsibility, and they collect weapons. Now, they are a slowpoke, which is unfortunate, but we do need another server. And thanks to a carrot heavy diet, Tanya can see in the dark, which is actually kind of nice. And then Tanya is particularly clumsy and is known for dropping things. That's unfortunate. We'll hire you. So this gives us another person to actually take orders and whatnot, which is kind of nice because we got a bunch of patrons coming in, right? So we want to be able to handle that. While they're in the middle of handling all of our new nerds coming in, we also are going to need a staff room because your staff don't go home. They sleep in your tavern. So I'm going to go ahead and build this as our staff room. It's going to cost us 18. We'll put a nice little door there. And they're going to need beds. You can put your tavern to be open all night, but obviously you're going to need staff to man it, right? Can I put this there? I'm not sure if I need it in a... Does it say where it works? I think it probably works in a hallway, though I don't remember. I'm going to put it in here because I want to put other things out there. And then I don't have enough money for anything else. Go ahead and let that go. So we can... yeah, see, it does say it only works in... It needs to be a hallway, but I don't want to use money to build a hallway there, so I'm just going to move it. But with this staff board, we can now do a schedule. So you have our 2 nerds here. They both have enough energy and happiness, so they're going to have to sleep at night, obviously. And they're both set to being a generalist, which is fine. I think, honestly, I would rather set Tanya to be the server and then Higdon as the chef, but right now I kind of need them both doing serving. So we're just going to leave them as generalists across the board. That means if something needs to be cleaned, one of them will do it. If something needs to be served, one of them can do it, so on and so forth. So you could tell like the simulation part of this, the sim management part of it is actually pretty engaging. There's a lot of depth here. You know, you're doing micromanagement. You're trying to handle your staff. You're trying to handle your patrons. You're trying to make sure your place looks cool so people are satisfied. And all of that together creates this really fun experience on top of the choose your own adventure narrative that is going on. And I think that that is what makes this game phenomenal, is in fact the choose your own adventure part of it. Love it. Love it to death. And I think that games like this could do with that kind of mechanic. We don't necessarily see it all that often. I actually think that this game, its best analog is Parkitect. Parkitect is freaking fantastic if you like park management sims, like theme park management sims. We're almost at 1-star rating. So what are we missing? We need to serve 2 more drinks, and then we need a dartboard or a waiting bench. Honestly, Can I get a dartboard? I mean, I got a bunch of gold now that I've been serving all these nerds. If I go to my tap room, I could put a waiting bench down, right? Oh, I don't have it. Oh, I do have one. Okay. Let's put the waiting bench right there. That way, you know, people are hanging out waiting, or have the ability to. So that now gives us the star on that. We just need to serve 2 more drinks, but our place is going to close in 3.5 hours. Anyways, yeah, Parkitect I think is the best analog between the graphics and the actual management and the simulation part of it. I feel like Parkitect is kind of the closest thing, even though this is a tavern simulator, a fantasy tavern simulator, and the other is more of a realism theme park management sim. But you have in both of those games the Steam Workshop. You've got the depth of the management going on, but what Parkitect lacks is the choose your own adventure thing. And I think if that was there, oh my goodness, that game would be freaking fantastic. Like, we need a Parkitect 2 with a choose your own adventure thing going on. I would absolutely love that. Speed this up a bit. So in how many hours are we losing gold? It's not popping up. It's going to happen now anyways. 21 gold, which is not bad. That leaves us in the positive, which is exactly what we want. We started with more gold, so that's why I kind of have some wiggle room here. I kind of prefer to start with more gold, but there are options here. So you can take out a loan. The loans work as you would expect. You've got an interest and a length, and then that determines how much you're paying per day, and then the total cost that you're ending up paying. And then, of course, once you get the loan, you could buy it out. So if you happen to have enough gold, you can end the loan and get it all taken care of. All right, these nerds, they're gonna go ahead and go to sleep. They don't have any other jobs to do.
Off hours are a good opportunity to manage rooms and furnishings, or you could simply speed up the clock.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and set their beds. So if I click on it, you can see that bed is set. That bed is set. Now they're all Gucci. So they're actually gonna sleep in the proper beds. I've had it where when it first came out last week, I had it where one of my dudes did not want to sleep, even though I had a bed assigned to them, because someone else had gone to bed next to it and it was like all broken, so I had to pick up the bed and move it. That has since been fixed. I don't even know if that was like an intentional thing, but it's a weird bug. I even tried to replicate it and couldn't happen again because I wanted to report it.
The dawn of a fresh day. The opportunities are endless, so long as no one comes to throw a wrench in the works.
All right, so our place is going to open again. Now, our drink here is kind of getting low, but we have this one, and then we can always replace that one as we go. Right, pretty simple. This is a 1-star. We need to serve one more drink, which will get us to the 1-star rating. And then we've got, this will continue to increase, and we're at 73%. But I think you get a pretty good idea of what's going on here. Now we get our first real story moment.
A severe-looking human woman in a pressed suit enters your tavern. She sweeps her gaze across the tap room and approaches the bar with confident, efficient strides. How rustic. 1 mug of your finest beverage. You slide the mug across the counter and hold out your hand for payment. The woman presses a crisply folded sheet of paper into it instead. My name is Dorothy Chadius, guild representative. You have been served.
No, I served you. See the mug?
You misunderstand. You have been served a legal document. The woman picks up her drink and takes a long sip. The mug is frosty. The stare she fixes you with is frostier. This beverage is adequate.
What kind of legal document?
Notice of official censure by the guild for operating an unlicensed tavern. Did you think you wouldn't be caught? We saw your deed filed. It's a matter of public record. She taps the seal on the folded document. It's all in here. The rules, your transgressions, and the consequences.
What guild? I didn't join any guilds.
The woman slaps a badge down on the countertop with a tight, proud smile. I'm a representative of the Tavern Keeper's Guild. We oversee all the taverns in the land. She lifts her chin gazing reverently into the distance. People rely on taverns to unwind and socialize under the professional care of a guild-certified tavern keeper. But you, her brow furrows, you are not certified.
Sorry, I didn't know. I'd be happy to get certified.
I have registered you as a guild applicant. The first step to move your application forward is to earn a 1-star ranking for your tavern. She drops a large, crisply folded map on the counter. This map shows the locations of reputable distributors of food and drink. Take this as well. She places a beautiful crystal bottle on the table beside the map. It's filled with golden, frothy liquid.
Great, thanks. What's in the bottle?
She gestures to the bottle. This is a tavern elemental, a provisional advisor of a sort. She's agreed to work with you full-time if your membership is approved. A small figure forms in the swirling liquid and waves cheerfully at you. They know everything there is to know about the business. This one's name is Hops, I believe.
She'll be watching me all the time? That's weird.
Yes, it is a bit intrusive, but it's to your benefit. Do try to get along and keep your ears open. She leans down to the level of the bottle and fixes the little elemental inside with a piercing stare. It stares back, striking a fair imitation of Dorothy's rigid posture. They're chatty types, elementals, but worth listening to.
I'll keep that in mind, I guess.
Dorothy favors you with another tight smile and reaches out to shake your hand. Her grip is firm and dry, like her personality. Best of luck to you in the application process. Attain a 1-star rating, and we'll be in touch. As she strides away, it occurs to you that she never paid for her drink. On the counter, Hops swirls around in her bottle to give you a big thumbs up.
Close book.
And so the long arm of bureaucracy has found you even in the depths of the swamp. At least you've made a friend.
I haven't advised anyone in ages. This'll be fun.
This is fun, actually.
Our drinks have earned a 1-star rating.
You bet they have. So check the tavern rating, blah, blah, blah. There's a bunch of stuff here to do. We're actually going to go ahead and go back to the title screen. Just so that way you can get an idea of some of the other things in the game real quick. So once you finish the swamp, there are other locations, and some of them are locked, obviously. Early access, some of them aren't going to be in right away either. Halflington is the next one. It does change the area, and then you're having to deal with a bunch of halflings. Basically, you're in the Shire. It's actually really cool. I'm not going to spoil the way it looks in case you want to pick it up. And then the final one is Gugamush, which is this like cool desert. So there are different regions there. You can import various things. So the share code in order to get downloads and whatnot, which is cool. They have a whole collection piece. And this actually kind of confuses me a little bit because they have this whole collectible card game inside as well. And you collect cards as you go. It's very interesting. It's a bunch of achievements, as you might expect. And of course, you can, jump into any one of these maps as you saw at the beginning that I did and just start a new game. If you wanted to, play in River Bottom some more, or if you wanted to go to the halfling area, you could just jump in there. I find this game fascinating. I think it is really, really good for the fact that it is simply an early access game, and it is this good. It's also extremely cheap, and I'm going to put the link to it in the description below. And if you could do me a favor, go wishlist this game, even if you're not going to pick it up right away, because that helps the developer a lot. So please do that. While you're down there, leave me a comment on what you think about this game. I personally find it to be extremely satisfying. I really like management games, and this one is definitely one of the best in recent memory. And then if you would like to hit the like button, it'll share the video with more people. Subscribe to see more videos, and if you want to support the channel, hit the join button down below. But with all of that being said, thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you all next time.